My audio used to be terrible. Echoey.
Like this.
Or
that annoying hiss.
Or worst of all,
clipped and hard to listen to.
Those are all actually pretty easy fixes, and after making 100 videos on this channel, I've learned some ways to make my audio sound a lot more professional. In this video, I'm going to share the 3 fixes to the most common audio problems: echoey audio, poor audio levels, and how to remove any unwanted hiss or background noise. It's not about buying a new mic or putting on dozens of confusing effects in post-production. These fixes are way more simple than that if you understand a few basic and often overlooked concepts. The first thing might surprise you, because we often think that as long as the microphone or the on-camera mic, whatever you're using, as long as it's picking up audio, that it's gonna sound good. The issue is that the further away that microphone or on-camera mic is from your actual mouth or the audio source, the further away it is, the worse it's gonna sound. Check this out. An audio test in a sound-treated room to show you how even just the microphone proximity can create a little bit of an echo. And in a second, I'm going to show you a mistake that's going to make you cringe, and a lot of you are making it. It's just a good tip in general to keep the microphone. This one's not hot, by the way. This is just a little prop, but it's a good tip for good audio quality. The closer the microphone is to your actual mouth, the better the audio is going to sound. And with that, the challenge with whether you're using like an on-camera microphone or just the internal microphones on the camera is to keep it close to your mouth. The camera has to be pretty close, where this is going to work really well for something like a vlog type shot, but that's about it. I'll show you an example of this right now from my kitchen, where typically the echo can be pretty rough, and all you kitchen and like food creators, I'm looking at you here.
Audio test, audio test, audio test, audio test, audio test, audio test.
So if you're using an on-camera mic or the internal microphones in the camera, it can be fine. The issue is that you probably need a really wide lens so that the camera is still close to your mouth where that microphone is positioned. And that's fine, but it can be limiting depending upon what type of videos that you're making. And that's really where I like having something like a lav mic. These are probably my favorite microphones for YouTubers out there. If I had to pick one, it's always going to be close to your mouth and in a variety of different shots, and it's going to sound good. This one is the DJI Mic 2. It also has 32-bit float. I'll put a link for it down below if you want to know my favorite lav mic. You can check that out. More on 32-bit float in a little bit. But you don't have to have one of these semi-expensive lav microphones to still get good audio if you understand a lot of the fundamentals and principles that we're going to continue to talk about today. These concepts are at least what work well for me to get good sounding audio. And we're going to keep that rolling with a term that's A, really fun to say, and B, it's a lot more simple than it sounds, and that is mic directivity. Microphone directivity is essentially just saying, what's the pickup pattern? Is it picking up audio from in front of the microphone, behind the microphone, which is pretty rare, or 360 omnidirectional around the entire microphone? Some cameras let you choose with the internal microphone if it is in the front or the rear or omnidirectional, and if you don't have the ability to choose from the microphone or the camera mic, it's probably omnidirectional, meaning 360. If it's a shotgun mic like this, you usually can't choose the directivity of it, but if it's a shotgun mic like that, the pickup pattern is going to be directly in front of the microphone. But for those omnidirectional ones that are just picking up 360 degrees around the mic, they're going to be pretty echoey, just like this.
Audio test, audio test, audio test, audio test.
So with that, if your microphone or your camera lets you choose the pickup pattern, just choose the pickup pattern where the audio is coming from. One thing to take into consideration is the type of room that you're in if you want to really reduce any echo. If you give it a clap, I'm in a pretty dry room right now. Dry just means there's not a lot of reverb, as opposed to a wet room, which when you clap, you're going to actually hear the reverb. Usually that's something that has a lot of hard surfaces, like a hardwood floor or concrete on the walls or something like that is going to be a really wet, echoey reverb room. But if you are filming in a place that isn't sound treated and it's very echoey, you simply just put like a blanket or a piece of carpet, like an area rug underneath you where you're filming. It can actually make a huge difference, just like this.
Audio test, audio test, audio test, audio test.
If you're getting something from this video, give it a tap on the thumbs up to let me know to keep making videos just like this one. And let's get into some quick tips in post-processing or editing to help out with that echoey audio. Okay, as we look at how to reduce echo in post-processing, I'm going to be showing you guys this in Premiere Pro, but I'm going to be using the AI processor that's built into Premiere Pro. In all of your editing softwares, Final Cut, DaVinci, they have AI editing for audio, and all this stuff is pretty similar across the platforms. So if you understand some of these very basic and general concepts, you're going to be able to apply it to whatever editing software that you're using. With this echo clip, let's start here first. Okay, so here's our echo clip.
Audio test, audio test, audio test.
Okay, I have it duplicated here, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to enhance the speech. AI is going to process that, and it's done. So let's see what we got with the AI processing before and after, and then we'll get rid of that echo for good.
Audio test, audio test, audio test. Audio test, audio test, audio test.
I already did a pretty good job, but we can make that a little bit better by just looking for a setting that says reduce reverb, and then we can change how much we're actually applying to it. Let's just start kind of low and go from there. All right, still in our after clip here. Let's see how that sounds with reduce reverb turned on.
Audio test, audio test, audio test.
That's pretty good. So let's go before and after, and let's listen for the difference of echo between this first clip here that has no processing and the second one clearly has some processing.
Audio test, audio test, audio test. Audio test, audio test, audio test.
Looks like the first clip's a little bit like louder, so the second clip I'm just going to bring up like a little bit here.
Test.
Make sure it's the same. Okay, here's the before and after with some very basic processing done to get rid of our reverb. And we're in a very reverb situation here just in my kitchen. Let's listen to the before with no processing and then listen for the reverb differences in the after.
Audio test, audio test, audio test. Audio test, audio test, audio test.
You may have noticed a bit of a format there where we talked about for reducing echoey audio, we talked about how to do it like in camera or in the setup, and then we went into the edit. And we're going to keep that theme going for the next two fixes here. And that's because you want to get 95% of the job done in actual recording, and the last 5-10%, you want to fix those things in post-production. The more you have to edit it in post, you're just going to be reducing the quality of the audio. And that couldn't be more important for our next fix, which is all about getting the right record levels. These are record levels, and every camera is going to have these. You can increase the sensitivity or the gain in camera, and as you increase it, your record levels are going to get higher, and as you decrease it, they'll get lower. The sweet spot that you're trying to get to where your audio is bouncing is between -12 decibels and -3. That's the sweet spot. When your record levels are getting at or above 0 and turning red, that's when you're getting that clipping or distortion effect. Clipped and hard to listen to. And when your record levels are way too low and you have to bring it up really high in post-production, you're going to be introducing that hiss. That annoying hiss. Unless you're recording in 32-bit float. Because in 32-bit float, you can record it as low as you want to and bring it up as high as you need to in post without introducing any of that penalizing hiss. 32-bit float is also near impossible to clip or distort the audio. So everything I'm teaching you today, if you have 32-bit float, everything we're going through, you should use it because it'll help, but you don't have to. 32-bit float though, you're going to pay for it, and your camera or mic has to actually say 32-bit float, otherwise it doesn't have it. This one's pretty simple. If you get the right record levels, which I recorded this audio between -12 and -6 decibels, so let's listen to the raw recording here and just watch the audio meters here on the right to see where our audio is peaking. This is an audio test in a sound-treated room to show you how. So we can just see those are peaking. The highest peaks like right about here.
This is an audio
at about -8 or so. So just in that sweet spot that we talked about. And to normalize audio, I'm just going to, again, use an AI, not like that, but I'm just going to use an AI. I'm just going to enhance the speech, and we'll see where it put it. It looks like it brought it up. Let's see where our audio is at here.
This is an audio test in a sound-treated room to show you how
So, I mean, it might be coming in a little bit hot, to be honest. And under like a mix amount, you can change how much of the effect of whatever AI processed it. It's going to look for a ton of things to process. You can just like reduce the effect with a slider. And I think it was coming in too strong on it, normalizing the audio levels. I want to normalize my audio for spoken word in post to be at about -3.
This is an audio test in a sound-treated room to show you how...
All right, so if you get the right record levels, which are before shot here,
this is an audio test in a...
we're seeing that audio bouncing in between -12 and -6 like we talked about.
This is an audio test in a sound-treated room to show you how...
And then in post-production, we just increase the audio via an AI enhance and then use the slider to get it to be bouncing right at that -3.
This is an audio test in a sound-treated room to show...
You gotta be careful with these. If they crank on too much, you're gonna watch my audio actually get distorted and peaking. It's gonna like get stuck at -3 and you're gonna see it turn red.
This is an audio test in a...
Let's go a little hotter.
This is an audio test in a sound-treated room.
All right, so I usually will bring those mixes down depending on the shot a little bit, but I just want to see it just touching -3, not being like stuck there.
This is an audio test in a sound-treated room to...
All right, so before and after, just basic record levels here converted into the actual editing levels that we would use in a final product.
This is an audio test in a sound-treated room to show you how... This is an audio test in a sound-treated room to show you how...
And now our levels are just right. When you get them peaked too loud, this shot's ugly because I was like talking right next to the mic, but here's that kind of that clipped and peaked audio.
Clipped and hard to listen.
All right, so if I try to run that through AI and like processing, unless you're recording in 32-bit float, you're just never going to be able to recover that. It brought it down, I think, but it's still going to sound terrible.
Clipped and hard to listen to.
It's a little bit better. Let's go before and after, but it still doesn't sound good. And clipped audio is just not recoverable.
Clipped and hard to listen to. Clipped and hard to listen to.
It's semi-passable, but it's still pretty distorted. These 3 fixes from today are my favorite ones of many, but my favorite 3 from my recent Better Audio for Your Videos workshop. In that, I deep dive into all of these concepts, plus a lot more in a lot more longer format, teaching style, dive into things like my exact audio workflows for all of my YouTube videos. Anyway, there's a link down below if you want to check that workshop out and use the code YT20 if you want to save 20%. On to fix number 3, and this one's all about how to isolate your voice and remove or avoid any unwanted hiss or background noise, and understanding when you might actually want just a little bit of background noise. The main culprit, as we've already learned, for getting hiss in your audio is when you record it too low and you have to bring it up. However, you can also get a hiss or a rumble from just generally like the room noise that can also be there and sound pretty similar. Here's how to remove that, as well as something to be careful of. And now with editing, getting rid of some of unwanted like background noise, let's listen to this clip here where I recorded it extremely low and had to bring it up really high to even get any type of audio to be high enough.
That annoying hiss.
And I let it go for a second. So if you hear that hiss at the end, you can also hear it while I'm talking if you listen close.
That annoying hiss.
All right, so that hiss can be when you record too low and you have to bring it really high to get your voice to even sound close to loud enough. Can also be something in the room like a hum from an AC unit, or like a light can be kind of loud sometimes. Any type of like hum or anything at all, or a hiss because you brought your audio up. It's all a similar thing to reduce it.
That annoying hiss.
And if I just go here, I'm just going to, again, use AI just to a quick speech enhancement. So let's see how it did. I'm going to play before and after to hear the contrast here. It's a really bad shot, but all good. All right, here we go.
That annoying hiss. That annoying hiss.
Pretty much got rid of it. However, I'm going to look for something along the lines of reduce noise. I turned on reduce noise, and then you can play with the slider of how much it's doing it. The more you have to do this, it might make your voice sound a little bit different depending upon, again, how much you have to press it. But let's see if I got rid of that completely.
That annoying hiss.
I got to bring the volume up a touch because it looks like it's playing with that too. Let me see if I can normalize that.
That annoying hiss.
Okay, good. So with a basic AI scrub and then just turning on a reduced noise and playing with the slider until you get it where you want it. Here's our before and after.
That annoying hiss. That annoying hiss.
So we got rid of that completely, and regardless, you want to get the right record levels, but if you miss it and you have to bring it up, getting rid of a hum or a hiss is actually pretty easy. But this is something you want to be really aware of, so check this shot out.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna say it. I've said enough times today. Audio test.
Can't help myself. If I were to go, so you hear the background noise in just like in the forest, in the woods, and you also hear my footsteps a little bit. If I were to take that clip, and you got to be careful with AI processors, because if I were to go to and just enhance that, just thinking that it's gonna just make my voice sound great, it will. However,
don't worry, I'm not gonna say it.
It's like it keeps reducing my volume a bit, so I'm gonna bring that up to try to normalize it close to the other one.
Don't worry, I'm not.
It's gotta come up a little more.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna.
Okay, that's about the same, but let's say that you wanted to like reduce noise of a shot like that.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna say it. I've said enough times today. Audio test.
It made my voice sound good, but if you listen to the before and after, actually, there are situations where you don't want to get rid of the environment sounds because it's actually a part of the video here. So we'll play before and after. This is a clip I would probably not do much to if I got my record levels right, besides bringing it up a little bit because I want the environmental sounds in there. Here's a before and after.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna say it. I've said enough times today. Audio test. Don't worry, I'm not gonna say it. I've said enough times today. Audio test.
It's just like in general, there's times when you don't want things to sound like a studio, and that would be one of them. And if you do all of that, your audio will sound significantly better, and people will actually watch your videos because nobody's listening to this.
What's up, and welcome to the video.
Now, for the full package, we just need to learn a few fundamentals for how to make your videos look good. And if you have a Sony camera and you want to pair your new crisp audio skills with better looking videos, you want to check out this video right here where I dive in to exactly how to do just that. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. See ya.